Vikings cut 5 to get down to 85 players on the roster. All right, welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus show. I'm Onebar, and the Vikings had till 3 o'clock to get from 90 to 85 players. They were an hour and a half early, and they have officially released 5 players. You never want to see any Vikings leave, but damn it, it is part of the game, and one of these really tug on the heartstrings. So we're going to be going through each of these 5 players. Before we get to that, remember, if you are thirsty, if you are parched, be sure to get to the local liquor store. Grab yourself some Lift Bridge, delicious brews. Also, subscribe to the channel. Let's get to 8,000 subs before the season starts. Just hit that little sub button. Bing, 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 bing. But yeah, let's do it. So Vikings have officially released 5, and here they are. We can't say there's a ton of surprises here, and by a ton I mean there are 0 surprises. Jake Bargas, fullback, has been a few stints with the Minnesota Vikings. Fullback, we know CJ Ham. If they're going to keep a fullback, it's going to be him. So Bargas, Gonzo, Andre Mintz, linebacker that they brought in from Denver, a guy that I actually thought might have a tiny bit of a chance to make this team right when they signed him, just because he was Ed Donatel with the Broncos and just is very familiar with this defense. But looking at outside linebacker and what they got going on, again, a very deep position. So Ty Smith, cornerback, again, no surprise there. Ty Smith has landed with a handful of teams over the years. He's with the Vikings last year as well. And you know what? There's no saying these guys might not come back in some capacity, practice squad, whatever, but usually the first round of cuts, this is more of a goodbye. And 2 guys with an injury designation, the big man Stevenson, defensive tackle, and Thomas Hennigan, our guy. The guy who came on was fantastic interview. Also injury that probably clears up why he did not play in the first preseason game. But these injury ones, these are the ones that maybe they bring them back in some capacity. Maybe it's next year. They get an injury designation. They come back next year and fight for an actual roster spot. But we will see. So once again, here are the guys getting the Vikings down to 85. Again, no big surprises, I guess, out of all of these. I would say Andre Mintz is probably the biggest surprise. Guys that we didn't see, I mean, Wyatt Davis, I mean, for how buried he is, I guess I wouldn't have been surprised if I saw him. But you got to also look at the position and how many players they have at each position, not really counting fullback, because offensive line, they're not going to be running out that first-team offensive line a ton anymore this preseason. So they got to have guys like Wyatt Davis on the roster. They got to have some defensive linemen as well, even though Stevenson was injured. So don't put too much into this, but usually, you know, we've seen these 5 guys. Will they make a comeback in the practice squad? Never know. Let me know down in the comments. Was there somebody you wanted to see cut? I'm sure we'll see a lot of Sean Mannion comments. Why didn't we cut Sean Mannion? Same thing. We only got so many quarterbacks, and Kirk Cousins ain't going out there. So let me know. Did you want to see somebody cut? Are you upset to see somebody go? Thomas Hennigan, my man, I hope he is back on the practice squad. But there you have it. We're down to 85, and this is just the tip of the iceberg.